Yo, guys, what's going on? This is Mustache MMA, and this is recapping, where we're going to recap the entire Calvin Kattar Chikadze card, as well as go through my predictions, my best bets, my parlay plays, see what I got right, see what I got wrong. Let's get into it. All right. So here are the breakdown results. These were my picks based off no odds, so just straight picks. So Brown over Rosa was a win. Kelleher over Croom was a win. McGee over Brahimaj was a loss. Pickett over Homles was a loss. Algeo over Brito. Borshchev over Bush. Chookagian over Maia. Royval over Bontorin were all wins. And then Collier over Sherman, Kattar over Chikadze were both losses. So I went 6-4 on the card. Not a bad start. Wish I did a little better, but can't hate going positive. So going down to best bets results, I went 3 of 9 for a net of -1 units. Risked 9.5 units. Got back 8.5. Not terrible. Wanted to be positive for this card. Brahimaj really screwed me over. He did not show up today or yesterday. And then Royval almost had that armbar. Man, and I was close to being in the positive. But anyway, a unit on Brahimaj money line and a half unit on Brahimaj decision were losses. A unit on Fight Goes the Distance. Brito Algeo was a win. Half unit on Borshchev knockout in the second or the third. He got the knockout in the first. 2 units on Chookagian decision. That was a win. A unit on Royval inside the distance, and a half unit on Royval sub in the second or the third. Ooh, so close with that armbar. Those were both losses. 2 units on Kattar and Chikadze to fight to start the third round. That was a win. And then a unit on Chikadze money line and the over 2.5 rounds was a loss. Again, wish I went positive, but I was really close to in a couple of these scenarios to going positive. Besides the Brahimaj, he got his ass kicked, and then Chikadze got his ass kicked too. So those bets were definitely bad ones, but I didn't think the other ones were too bad, especially those all at the plus money. Moving down to the parlay plays results, I did go positive in one of my videos, which is nice. So I went 2 for 6 for my parlays for a net of 3.63 units. 2 for 2 on my even money parlays, not too bad. First parlay was Kelleher money line and Chookagian decision at plus 142. That cashed. And then the other one was Kattar Chikadze to start round 3, and Brito Algeo Fight Goes the Distance. That cashed at plus 171. Juicy parlays. They were 0 for 2. So half units on these guys. Homles by sub or decision. He lost his bout, and Royval inside the distance was at plus 320. Royval got it done by decision. This one, Brahimaj again screwed me over, man. He did not show up. Half unit here on Brahimaj money line, Algeo money line, and Borshchev KO TKO. Obviously, Algeo money line hit. Borshchev KO TKO hit. The one leg Brahimaj money line did not. That would have been a nice juicy one at +1 or plus 744. And long shot parlays, quarter units on these guys. Brahimaj decision and Algeo decision. Again, Brahimaj let me down. Would have been a good one at plus 1260. And then Borshchev knockout in the second or the third. Got that in the first. Royval sub second or third. That was a really good one at 2,237 plus 2,237. Royval obviously getting it done by decision. Okay. I will actually go through the fights now and kind of recap them real quick. So TJ Brown, Charles Rosa, kind of how I predicted. TJ Brown really uses wrestling well in this fight, and also in the stand-up, he was there. Rosa, all he really had to offer was he was throwing his hands at times, but all he really did have to offer was those submission attempts. Some of them were there, but TJ Brown was good enough to kind of be aware of what was going on and get it out of them. And TJ Brown actually putting on a couple submission attempts as well, and some of those were tight. Some arm triangle chokes on Rosa. But Rosa, a high-level grappler, he knows what he's doing to defend those. Going down to the predictions here on Tapology, a lot of people were on Rosa, more than 50%. And when I first saw the bout come out, I was like kind of interested in Rosa, especially at I thought it had good value when the lines came out. He was at plus 220 about almost, and that did go down. But then after I watched the tape, I really saw Brown really had the advantage everywhere besides the grappling, and I trusted Brown to get it done. So yeah, good job on Brown. 2-fight win streak. We'll see what's coming for him next. Charles Rosa, hasn't been doing good in the UFC. He did take this one on short notice, so they might be able to, he might be able to finagle finagle Dana for another fight, but who knows? He's getting up there in age, and it might be it for him. Again, moving on, we got Brian Kelleher versus Kevin Croom. Pretty much everyone on Kelleher here. Croom on 3 days' notice. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to get it done. I thought actually Kelleher was going to finish this fight, go inside the distance, whether it was a knockout or a submission. However, he did not. Croom did show some toughness. But yeah, Kelleher just put on his pace. His wrestling was there. Croom slowly fatigued as the fight went on. Kelleher was taking over as the fight went on. Kelleher did pull a couple guillotines like he likes to do, but they were unsuccessful. Croom knew what he was doing and knew how to get out of them. Good performance by Kelleher. Unfortunately, it wasn't his original opponent in Kakramanov, but he does get the W. And Kevin Croom coming on, short notice. I don't think he's going to be done in UFC. We'll probably see him. He's an exciting fighter, so I'm sure we'll see him again as well. Brahimaj versus Court McGee, man. Brahimaj was so high on him. Maybe not so high, but I was confident he would get this win over Court McGee. Court McGee proved me wrong. That man is a monster, even at 37 years old. Brahimaj he couldn't get the takedown. And I think he maybe got it to the ground at one point, but Court McGee is just so good at getting back to his feet. And, Brahimaj, his gas tank, he didn't totally gas, but, he got tired and he wasn't the same as he was in the first round. Court McGee obviously dominating him every single round, running a clear 30-27. It was not even controversial at all to give him a 30-27. Definitely won all 3 rounds. Court McGee, man, still killing it at 37. Good for him, and he's looking up now in the division. I'll be interested to see who they give him. Cause he's looking real good this past 2-fight win streak. For Brahimaj, man. I mean, I don't know, man. This guy was a hot prospect coming in. He got lost to Max Griffin, lost to Court McGee. They're gonna give him another fight, but he's got to prove something, man. I mean, if you can't get past these top 50 fighters in the division, I mean, you're gonna get the boot eventually. You can't just come in here and beat a bunch of cans that they bring off the street, like they did Sasha Pavlicek or whoever he fought before Court McGee. So yeah, man, a little disappointing. Ramiz Brahimaj really ruined a big parlay, and also I had a couple plays on him as well, some straight plays on best bets. But yeah, Court McGee, man, looked good. Cardio was there. Didn't slow down at all. Dominated this dude. Good for him. Moving on. I did want to go through the percentages. Brahimaj did have over 50% of the picks on Tapology. McGee, though, again, that cardio really just kind of pushed through. And his ability to get back to his feet, his defensive wrestling, really good. So good job on Court McGee. Jamie Pickett versus Joseph Holmes. Trying to remember this fight exactly. Oh, Joseph Holmes couldn't get it to the ground. His path to victory was definitely getting it to the ground. I thought it would have been kind of close on the feet, but Jamie Pickett did kind of seem to be landing the heavier shots, landing more volume as well. Holmes definitely won the first, but Pickett takes the second and the third on my scorecards. And, thinking back on it, actually, Holmes, I don't believe he ever even saw a third round. So his cardio was a factor too. And even in that second round, he was really like kind of breathing heavy. So I think his cardio really played a factor in this. And him not being able to get this fight to the ground was huge. Pickett being able to defend those takedowns successfully definitely helped him to win the fight. And Pickett actually getting, I believe, a few takedowns himself. So good job on Pickett, man. I mean, a lot of people doubt this guy. Look at the percentages. I'm sure. Yeah, only 21% of people picked him. A lot of people were high on Holmes, and he just did not deliver at all. So good on Pickett, man. A lot of people were doubting him and says he isn't really good. And a thing I did notice is, and I said it in my in the breakdown, is Pickett really is sometimes shy to throw his hands, man. It's crazy, but in this fight, he was throwing and he was looking pretty good at times. So good on him. 2-fight win streak. He's going to continue to be in the UFC. And Joseph Holmes, his first fight in the UFC. I'm sure he'll get another, but dropping one to Pickett doesn't look the best because I don't think he's really that great of competition in the middleweight division. So again, yeah, good on Jamie Pickett. He's probably looking up now. Moving on, my boy Bill Algeo, repping KOP, baby, gets it done over Joe Anderson Brito. I called this one. Didn't lay any bets on it though. Unfortunately, wasn't that confident on him. But fight did go the distance, did hit. But anyway, man, yeah, Algeo looked really good. Essentially, he was just able to dodge Brito's big looping shots. Like I said, Brito has those big power shots, not much technicality behind it, and Algeo's good at maintaining that distance, maintaining range. Karate stance, but backs his head back out of the punches. And then Brito also with his wrestling, I believe he was pretty successful in the first round with it, but Algeo, he can get taken down easily, sure, but he can get back to his feet pretty quickly, or he can do some kind of a reverse or even get any kinds of submissions. So again, yeah, Brito successful at first with the takedowns, but couldn't hold him there, couldn't get control time. Algeo was able to get back to his feet, and he was piecing him up on the feet. Brito also, his gas tank came into question. It looked like he may have had a bad weight cut, when he weighed in. He didn't look the best. Maybe that played a factor in his cardio, because in previous fights, his cardio didn't ever really seem to be that big of a problem. He would gas himself out essentially at the very end of the third, like he would give everything into this fight. But his pressure was still there. But yeah, good on Algeo, man. Definitely needed that win. Potentially could have got cut from the UFC if that was a loss there. So yeah, he's going to probably be looking up in the division as well. He called out Chikadze, and he totally called that loss by Chikadze, but they're not going to give him Chikadze. He's going to have to work up to get that. But anyway, Joe Anderson Brito, man, yeah, first fight in the UFC. We'll see what's next for him. He's going to get another fight for sure, and we'll see what he can do. In terms of the predictions, nobody was on my boy Algeo, only 17%. Love it. Love that I got this one. Yeah, good job, Algeo. Moving on. Dakota Bush versus Slava Claus, baby. Slava Claus getting that knockout in the first, but Bush looked really good, honestly. His takedowns, they're there. His wrestling was good. He was maintaining good range. He was initially keeping his distance for sure, throwing a lot of kicks, kind of not staying in Slava's range. And then, if he were to close the distance, it was in for a takedown, get a body lock, just not trying to let Slava kind of let his hands go. He looked good. I thought he was winning the fight, to be honest. I know there was I don't know if there was a reversal or Slava ended up on top for maybe 30 seconds and landed a couple shots. But up until that point, I still gave the round to Dakota Bush. He landed more shots on the feet, I think. and he had the takedowns and a bit of control time as well, doing some damage on the ground. But man, Slava coming in with that liver shot, knocking Dakota Bush down and out for the count, man. Yeah, man, this guy has next level striking. I think he's going to be good. And, a key factor here is, man, he was able to get up. He showed good ability to get up from the takedown, moving his hips back, getting his feet on Dakota Bush's hips and pushing out and then scrambling for a leg and then getting back up to his feet. So good job on Slava. Good performance for his first UFC fight. Got the bonus too, so good on that. An extra 50K in his pocket. He's going to be looking up as well. And Dakota Bush, I believe he's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Hubbard as well. But, I mean, only 2 UFC fights. I would think they would give him one more chance before maybe cutting him. I think everyone here was on the Slava clause, and a lot of people by knockout as well. Good performance by Slava. Excited to see him in the future. I think he's a really exciting fighter, a really exciting striker. We'll see who he gets next. Moving on, Caitlin Chookagian versus Jennifer Maia 2. Chookagian, again, just putting on a decision victory. Pretty dominant over Jennifer Maia, winning all 3 rounds, I think, pretty convincingly. Chookagian just keeps her range really well. Maia wasn't able to hit her as much as she was able to throw. She threw a lot of volume. Even in the first round, Chookagian was able to get a takedown for herself. And, you would think Maia would want to go for those takedowns. Good on Chookagian, Quakertown girl, PA, repping it. Chookagian just looked crisp. Kind of solidified her spot as that always top 3 flyweight in the women's division. She's always beating girls who come up and try to challenge her, and unfortunately never able to get past Shevchenko, obviously. But she's proven she's a top 3 for a while now. So good on her. And we'll see who she gets next. I think it'd be interesting for her to get Talia Santos in there. Somebody new in the division, also really good striking. It'd be a really good fight. And then probably the winner of that gets Shevchenko. Chookagian probably gets another shot if she wins, or give Talia Santos, the new girl, to Shevchenko and see what she can do with her. Maia, not a terrible performance for Maia, but just got outclassed by Chookagian over 3 rounds. She'll be back, but we'll see who she gets back. I'm not sure who they'll give her. In terms of the statistics here, pretty much everyone was on Chookagian, and it was by decision as well. Man, I thought that was just the lock of the century. A Chookagian decision, anywhere from -110 to -125, you could have got it at. I thought that was a total steal, totally easy bet to get. Moving on, we got Brandon Royval versus Rogerio Bontorin. Ended in the split, so potential controversy. Also controversy in the third. Did Bontorin tap? I don't think so. And I do believe that the split was in the right direction. I thought Royval won a very close first round. I think Bontorin had a takedown or 2 and had control time, but he didn't do anything with it. You can't just get takedowns and have control time and just hold someone down and win a round. You have to throw something. You have to threat a submission. You have to throw strikes on the ground. I mean, Brandon Royval was doing more off his back than Rogerio was doing in that top position. And on the feet, I don't think Rogerio was really throwing anything besides some leg kicks, and Royval was throwing volume, so I gave him the first. Bontorin definitely got the second. I thought it was closer than it really seemed, but I do think Bontorin got it. When he threw that shot, and everybody thought he was rocked. But apparently he just kind of twisted his ankle, Brandon Royval, and it kind of fell in the second. But it looked like Bontorin kind of rocked him and got a knockdown, but that was not the case. Never. What am I saying? Anyway, Bontorin, I think he still won that second round. Royval won the third pretty convincingly as well. Almost got that armbar. That would have been juicy for my straight up picks, but oh well, that would have put me in the positive too. But anyway, good performance by Brandon Royval. I mean, some of them were saying like he should maybe get a title shot after that. I don't think he get a title shot after a split decision over number 7. I mean, I think he's got to win one more against a top 5 opponent, obviously other than himself, and then maybe he gets a title shot. And only if he really does it in dramatic fashion, gets a nice finish. Bontorin, really close fight, and it wasn't bad, but he just didn't throw the volume, man. So interesting to see who they'll give him next as well. Looking at the stats, yeah, everybody on Royval. Bontorin, I don't think was a bad pick, man. Split decision, it was close, but I do believe the split was correct in Royval's favor. Anyway, moving on to the co-main event. Man, I hope Chase Sherman's out of the UFC, man. I believe they'll kick him the hell out and give him the boot, man. He just gave up. And for whatever reason, I picked him. And I picked him even knowing in my breakdown, that this dude just is a quitter. He gives up on himself. He has no confidence in himself. So annoying, man. Anyway, fight goes down. Essentially, they're brawling on their feet. They're both landing. I believe Sherman throws a kick. Collier catches it, throws him, gets on top of him. So easily gets in the full mount. And for a heavyweight to get in full mount, especially a big-ass heavyweight like Collier, that's going to be hard to get him off. Anyway, raining down punches on Sherman. Sherman was actually so close to exiting from behind. He was really close from getting out there, but couldn't get it done, gave up his back. Collier put in a choke that was on the chin, wasn't even under completely. Chase Sherman would not have gone out if that continued, and he just gave up. He tapped. So yeah, good fight by Jake Collier, man. Getting a first round submission. Who would have bet that? I wonder what the odds were. Had to be at least plus 1,000 or more. And Chase Sherman, yeah, give this guy the boot. Get him out of here. Jake Collier, yeah, give him another heavyweight. See what he can do. Prediction-wise, I think it was close. More people were actually on Sherman getting that knockout, and I was on that first-round knockout by Sherman too. That's what I was really thinking was going to happen here, but good on Collier getting that takedown, getting easily in the full mount, and then getting that choke. So, yeah. And getting into the main event, Calvin Kattar versus Giga Chikadze, and Kattar whooped this guy. The hype is over. Giga Chikadze is not as great as we thought. And, I was on Chikadze here too, but Kattar just, man, destroyed him, pummeled him. So the Max Holloway fight, Max, that Kattar last have, Holloway Kattar. Holloway absolutely destroyed Kattar. And then Kattar comes back from that, and what does he do? Destroy Chikadze, wins every single round, dominantly, just beating him up, blooding him up. First round, a huge factor. Wrestling came into play, and we saw what Chikadze looks like on his back. He can't do anything. He can't get up. He just stays there, totally useless on his back. Also, Chikadze, his cardio is a factor, man. He can't go 5 rounds. So you can't do those championship rounds. Even in the third, he was starting to lag a bit too. So, and Kattar, known for that pressure, for that cardio, he really put it on him, and he beat him up, and he almost finished him in the 5th round. If there was another 10 seconds, he probably had a finish there. So really good performance by Calvin Kattar. I don't know where they put him after this. I mean, I think they got to give him another top 5 guy. So good on him for getting that. And Giga Chikadze, taking a step back. He'll take some time off, try to figure some things out, and we'll see who they give him as well. And yeah, only 20% on Calvin Kattar, man. I did say I thought Kattar had good value on the money line, almost at around plus 200. I didn't pull the trigger. I wasn't too confident on it, but I thought the value was there for sure. And yeah, 80% of people with Chikadze were incorrect. So good on those 20% for getting Kattar correctly. All right, guys. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Leave me any comments down below, what you thought about the fight, what you thought about my picks and everything. If you tailed me, if you faded me, let me know down below. And look out for tomorrow. I'm going to have the second episode of the breakdown for UFC 270. Excited for that one. Heavyweight matchup between Gane and Ngannou. So, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon.